Okay, welcome back, everybody. Well, as we go ahead and we wrap up Friday's market, I hope you guys had a phenomenal week here. There was a lot of great opportunities, and let's go ahead and build upon what we talked about in the Thursday night video here. So, a couple of things for you. Number one, a reminder, since so many people have joined Wealth Charts, actually, just a little pro trader tip that Monday through Friday here, 9 a.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern, you can always click this little button right up here and go into a live video broadcast where you can type in questions and get your live support there. So I just want to remind people it's a great way to go and get a lot of answers to different questions, how to use different things in that. But getting back to now the business at hand. So I talked in last night's videos about how the hourly chart or the daily chart was up. The hourly chart had been up in the backdrop till it got hit with a double negative divergence, and that could lead to some short-term sell opportunities on the short-term charts. Well, so that continued then into the overnight session here, into through this morning here on Friday. So what happened was, you see, the hourly chart actually kind of flattened out and kind of had some selling going into the early morning hours here. And so you'll see a little bit of that taking place. So was there some very short-term short side opportunities? Yeah, there was earlier this morning. Was that the highest probability trade though, when your daily chart is in such an uptrend, the backdrop of your hourly was in an uptrend? No. The preferred trade of choice is going to be looking for that resumption back into the direction of the higher trend. And so yesterday we showed you how you can find a little bit more of the aggressive short-term trades, how to take those when they're coming back into the falling resistance and start to pull back out. That's the entry, and then you trail down behind those, right? But that's a lower probability trade than if you just wait a little bit longer and wait for the market to go ahead and actually pop back into the direction. So here you'll see what happened was that after the economic data this morning, the market popped up, trapped a bunch of retail traders as it often does, pulled right back, came up with that setup again where it pulled into the rising support, and then started to take right back off, which was nice because that happened after the U.S. Open. So it got to shake the tree, go the opposite direction, spook out retail traders who were thinking about going long, and then the market was free to go on board the correct direction with as few traders as possible. But if you were focused on these strategies of, hey, now I got my 10-minute, a 5-minute, 1-minute chart, whatever you trade, I look at multiples, as you guys know, along with the hourly chart and along with the daily. Now I've got everything back into my direction. That's a much higher probability trade, and that offered some significant opportunities here this morning, as you can see, off of this initial move here. And then it went ahead and paused. It kind of pulled back and continued up again here, as you can see. So it gave multiple of those pull back into the rising support and pushing back up type trade opportunities. Then you can trail behind them, and those can really add up fast. 5 points, 10 points, 20 points, 50, 100, right? They add up very fast, and so the key is trailing up behind those. And we can talk about those in other videos, or watch some of my trailing type videos that we've already done before inside of Wealth Charts. But the thing is that if you go ahead and understand the key concept here is, instead of trying to fight the trend and going ahead and taking a short-term trade against the predominant trend that carries more risk, and we showed you, because not everything's always going to be aligned. So there are those opportunities. So we kind of talked about those in last night's video. But if I do have the patience just to wait for the trend to resume, and by the way, I should back up and say, if you're going to go ahead and take these trades where you're doing kind of a short-term counter trend effectively to the overall trend, then perhaps you should consider a smaller size and tighter stops. Okay, I'm not a registered financial representative, but that's how I would approach that from my perspective. Now, but then we get back into the direction of the trend. Now that's where you can do the bigger swings from the fences, if you will, from my perspective, when you have all the stars in alignment. So I kind of want to build upon it. This is why we wait. So instead of trying to take the shorter term trend or a sideways trend, wait till the three things come back into alignment, and that's typically going to be a much higher probability trade, much more forgiving if you got in a little bit late, right? So that it goes against you a little bit, but then it's more bound to continue on your direction. There's a lot of benefits of having the multi-time frames back in your direction. So I kind of wanted to carry that thought on, especially since we saw then the market after that negative divergence on the hourly kind of went into that short-term consolidation. But you'll notice how it held some of these key support tools, right, in here, and then off to the races it went back into the direction of the trend, where then you could really shine, really potentially prosper, and really close out your Friday strong. Okay, so we'll build upon that. Keep the questions coming there. Don't forget to join us. Monday through Friday we've got those special classes where we're doing like the prop trading classes inside of Wealth Charts. There we've expanded at Tuesdays and Thursdays also in the morning, extra hours there to accommodate for other instruments being traded. So a lot of great stuff there. So make sure you join us, and of course don't forget to join the all-day room there Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. to ask questions like, hey, how do I apply the Champion Trend Pack indicators? What are some of the things that Rob likes to look for with those? Those guys can't give you any sort of advice, but they can tell you how I'm looking at certain things and how to apply things and get yourself all set up with all sorts of different fun things. Okay, so have a great weekend. Keep in mind what I was talking about here with the multi-time frame analysis and why it's so important, and how to act if you're going to do short-term quote-unquote counter-trend trading, which is not the preferred method, and why we like to then swing bigger and focus much more heavily on these with trend trades. Okay, so we'll continue on the learning as we go into future videos here, and you guys have a phenomenal rest of your weekend. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.